Hi there. Let us have an interesting conversation on how someone can start a side hustle with the aim of making it sustainable and also with the aim of it becoming profitable over time. Of course, just a quick scrolling through the internet, you're gonna see we have a lot of videos on YouTube with regards to how someone can create a side hustle or even have passive income. We also have many blogs out there, many websites discussing the same topic, but we have very little information on the internet with regards to how exactly someone can go about creating a side hustle. That's why I'm making this video to discuss with you the step-by-step guide. In fact, I'm going to discuss 7 steps which you could look to go through so that you are able to create a sustainable side hustle, which hopefully over time is going to be able to make you good money on the side. You are all much welcomed to the Money Daily YouTube channel. My name is Afagza Sifunam. And by the way, I've noticed a good number of y'all haven't subscribed. So I'd really appreciate if you can consider subscribing to this channel. Subscribe for you to be getting such awesome videos regularly. Having said that, the potential when it comes to side hustles is limitless. And I'm saying so because we've all seen stories of people out there who have, for example, built something from nothing and they have been able even to quit their full-time job. We've also seen stories of people out there who are actually raking in millions of dollars in profit from side hustles, right? All these, from the view of it, it might look like it is accidental, but it is never accidental. And I'm saying so because all these entrepreneurs went through a given trajectory, went through a given path for them to be able to build that sustainable business and, in fact, be able to make it profitable. Those are the 7 steps I'm going to be discussing today. And of course, having said that the earning when it comes to side hustle is limitless, you could, for example, even target to be earning 10K per month. You could target to be making 50K per month. You could target to be profiting to the extent of even $500,000 per month. It is you to decide. Of course, we all understand that's going to take time. So you need to build that conduit, which is going to ensure that you are able to make money over time. What are the 7 steps an entrepreneur has to go through for them to be able to make these crazy amounts of profit from side hustles? In this video, I'm going to be referring to my notes because I've scribbled all these down in my notepad. So I'm going to be referring to these as I take you through them one by one. And the very first thing which actually an entrepreneur needs to do as they're thinking about starting a side hustle is identifying their unfair advantage. What do I mean? You see, guys, an unfair advantage could be that unique thing which actually is going to spell advantage for you compared to the competition. To give you an example, maybe you may have a talent in a given area, right? You might look, for example, to explore that area to see how you can turn that talent to even a side hustle idea. That is your unfair advantage. Another thing, for example, you could find yourself in a location whereby you know this location lacks this and that product, right? Given you, for example, moved around a lot, so you have a sense with regards to what that location lacks, which sadly, the locals of that particular area don't know. Now, for example, they like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 products. Then that could be your unfair advantage. The knowledge you have over your environment or your competition. So based upon that, you might look to start a side hustle on that, right? Another thing, you could find yourself, for example, in a circumstance whereby you are in constitutes which we hadn't thought about before. Another example is, for example, you might find yourself, for example, in college, right? You could think about business ideas which appeal to college students. Of course, that college setting is your unfair advantage. So, someone's unfair advantage could rise from anything But it is upon you to think about it, know clearly what your unfair advantage is so that you can be able to capitalize on that and hopefully be able to start a business which over time is going to be able to become sustainable. So think about it critically. This is the initial stage of you thinking critically what your unfair advantage is, to what extent you can exert yourself in a particular area, and also the know-how you have in that particular area, because also it will be quite uninformed for you to delve in an area which you don't have information on, you don't know anything on, in the hope that things are going to pan out well. No, you are against a competition which knows every details of what they are doing. So you also need to be very clear with regards to what you know and what you can do for you to be able to delve in a given area that you have unfair advantage in, right? And then the second thing which you need to have in mind, also you are facing this unfair advantage, is that you need to think critically and actually write down. The power of writing down is very important. Write down your goals and objectives. What do I mean? Before you even delve into starting any side hustle, you need to be very clear with regards to why you're starting a side hustle in the first place. Are you starting, for example, to be able to address a given product gap in the market? Are you starting, for example, to be able to address a given social cause? Are you starting, for example, for the sole purpose of making profit and so forth? Be clear with regards to what your goal is, and also tied to your goal, have very specific objectives, right? You could say, for example, you want to achieve 1, 2, 3 in this time duration, okay? You want to achieve 4, 5, 6 in this time duration. So be very clear with regards to what your goal and objectives are before you even think about opening shop. And I'm saying so because if you're going to be walking blindly, chances are you're going to fail as soon as you start. But if you have a goal and very specific objectives, you are bound to succeed. So be clear with regards to what your goal and objectives are right from the upfront, and ensure they are very smart. Ensure they are very smart, in that they are specific, timely, and so forth. All those aspects of smart, ensure they are there so that you are able to measure what you are doing towards achieving your goal and objectives over time. But if you start a side hustle without any goal and objectives, most likely you're bound to fail. So after knowing clearly what you want to do, write down exactly what your goals and objectives are for you to be able to work towards something. And then the third thing which you need to do when you're looking to start a side hustle is actually to look for money. What do I mean? You're gonna need money for you to be able to make money. So you need to look for money. Whether you're talking about you, for example, jumping into checking what your savings kitty has, whether you're talking about you going out there for leverage, in essence, seeking loans from different parties out there, whether it is banks, whether it is even friends, family, and so forth, you need to look for money. And I'm saying so because money is going to be significant in at least ensuring your side hustle starts well and takes off. And I'm saying so because at the end of the day, yes, you could start a side hustle just using your talent, but for you to be able to make good strides towards becoming profitable, towards ensuring your name is out there, you need to be very specific with regards to the investment you're making upfront, right? We're talking about even you, for example, getting a business premise. You won't get a business premise for free. You're going to need money to be able to pay rent, right? You even, for example, having an employee who's working for you as you're doing other things out there. Of course, you're going to need to pay these employees and so forth. So you need to look for money for you to be able to start your side hustle. And if you've realized, I have said look for money as the third step, not the first step or the second step. The first step is knowing what you want to do. Second step is having goal and objectives. And then you can look for money. Because even the money you're going to be looking for is going to be tied towards specific objectives. You're going to know I'm looking for money to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things. But if you have money first, then trying to fit objectives into the money is going to be kind of challenging situation. But when you have goal and objectives set, then you look for money, you're going to be tying specific amounts of money to your objectives. And that way, you're going to work towards achieving something in a very purposeful and very timely and calculated way. So that is the third thing which you need to do to look for money, which, by the way, is not an easy thing. But at the end of the day, we need money to be able to make money, right? And then the fourth thing, which I can't really emphasize over and over, is that you need to learn the ropes of the side hustle you have delved into, right? Learn the ropes of that particular sector. Learn the ropes of what the side hustle entails. Learn the ropes with regards to who your competitors are. And I'm saying so because this is going to determine how you grow over time. I said at the start of this video that knowledge is power. So if you start a side hustle and you jump in a given space, and even so, you don't really make deliberate efforts towards learning what a space entails, learning what a side hustle entails, you're going to be in for a huge shock. But if you take your time to understand what a particular side hustle area entails, what you're doing entails, and also just thinking about what the possibilities in a particular area are, you're going to be setting yourself apart from the competition, because you're going to be miles ahead when it comes to the thought with regards to that business, and even the thinking and implementation with regards to what the future of that business looks like. So ensure you learn the ropes of that particular business for you to be ahead of the competition. And by the way, this is never a one-off thing. You learning the ropes of the business is a continuous process. Each and every day, a business out there has different challenges. So you need to stay on your toes, keep learning each and every day. Understand what a side hustle entails, understand what you could do to improve, understand what you can do to ensure your customers are satisfied. And if you do that, you're gonna be okay. On the alternative side is that if you don't do that, you might end up closing shop very soon. So take your time to learn a side hustle so that you are on top of your game, right? That is the fourth thing which you'll need to do. And then the fifth thing which you need to do, and sadly most entrepreneurs out there overlook, is that you need to set up systems. What do I mean? If you're truly starting a side hustle, which hopefully over time is going to be able to sustain itself and actually allow you to step aside so that you do other things, you need to set up systems. Think about it. The entire spectrum of a business, right from setting up shop, right from ensuring the operations are ideal, ensuring your employees are satisfied, ensuring your financials are in check, ensuring you are actually obliged to regulatory requirements out there. All these require systems. And to give you an example, when it comes, for example, financials of a business, you need, for example, systems which are going to be able to assist you with accounting, to ensure you account for each and every cent which is coming in and going out of their business, right? To give you an example, if you have employees, you need to have systems which ensure employees are motivated, employees are appraised rightfully, employees are satisfied. All this is going to go a long way towards ensuring that your side hustle is a success. So at the upfront of it, and of course, this is something you should need to set at the initial stages, and also be ensuring you update regularly, is that you need to ensure you set up systems. Systems which are going to ensure your operations are seamless. Systems which are going to ensure your financials are in check, and so forth. So think about it. If you're going to be remote, for example, think about how operations are going to run, and also how you're going to have oversight, right? And by the way, in no way do I mean you installing CCTV cameras all over your business premise. Yes, you could do that, but that's not the ideal scenario. Ideal scenario is ensuring you have systems which are auditable, systems which you can monitor remotely to see how your business is faring on. And of course, if you're thinking about growing and expanding, even opening branches of your business in different places, you need to have systems. That is not an option. Without systems, you're going to be setting yourself up for failure, because you're going to end up not tracking how your business is doing, not being clear with regards to how your business is moving towards attaining the specific objectives, and even, sadly, you're going to end up crossing paths with authorities out there, because, for example, you might miss on statutory requirements out there. So ensure you have systems for you to be able to run your business smoothly and be in compliance with all the requirements of such a business. And then the sixth thing which you need to do, and actually most people out there ignore, is that you also need to hire very competent people. Let's face it, a business is as good as the input which goes into that business. So if the input which goes into that business is input of laziness, input of people slacking, input of people half stepping and so forth, also the end results are going to just be exactly that. What goes in is what comes out. It's as simple as that. So for you to be able to set yourself up for success, ensure you hire competent people. And by the way, I'm not saying you shouldn't hire relatives. Of course, out here we have seen, for example, family businesses where people are hiring relatives out there and they are doing very, very well. But ensure all your hiring process is anchored on competence, right? Don't bring people to your business, for example, employees who are there to have step, who are there to give part of their effort, not their full effort. Just ensure you hire competent people who know what they are doing so that they are able to input fully into the business objectives, so that ultimately your customers are able to get the most ideal products, the most ideal services, and they end up becoming satisfied. So hire competent people for a business to be able to do well and ultimately to live the test of time. And then last thing I want to discuss with you, which is the seventh thing, is ensure you have appropriate monitoring and review mechanisms in your business. You know, there is something called a trap in hustle, in that someone could start something and they keep on running without really knowing they're running towards which direction. And that's why I have this point as the last point, ensuring you have appropriate monitoring and review systems. And of course, among the first things I discussed with you is ensuring also you have systems which are automated and systems which are working, right? You see, ultimately for you to be able to gauge if you're moving towards attaining your objectives, if you're moving towards ultimately meeting your goal, is that you also need to be having monitoring and evaluation mechanisms throughout different stages in your business, whether it is monthly, whether it is biannually, whether it is quarterly, you name it. Have systems of monitoring and also reviewing your progress towards meeting your objective. Out here, we have people who are running over and over. Of course, money is coming in, money is going out. They think they are in business. But this is where we find someone, for example, they have been very busy. But in a span of 3 years, they are actually mark timing at the same place. Not because money is not coming in, not because money is not going out. In fact, they are able to sort even their rent, they are able to pay their employees, but they are mark timing at the same place. Most of the times it's because they haven't taken time to really critically review how their business is doing. If you critically review your business, you're going to be ensuring you purposefully work towards achieving given objectives. And ultimately, you're going to be able to ensure your business grows much fast, right? I hope you have learned a thing or two with regards to how to start a side hustle and also how to run a side hustle optimally for you to be able to grow a side hustle and ensure it is sustainable over time. Thanks a lot for watching this video. I look forward to share with you other awesome videos next time on such kind of topics, and also discuss with you other awesome topics which I'm going to be making videos on relating to money, investing, and so forth. Cheers guys, and look forward to sharing with you other awesome videos next time. Bye bye, and you all take care.